A lark and her momster are coming your way. Gonna tell it how it is, so won't you join us today? Hi!
Hi. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to everyone.
Or our studio audience?
I'm talking to the publics and everyone and you and the world.
Okay.
And welcome back to A Lark and Her.
Momster.
That's you! Thank you so much for joining us today for episode 33. I'm hoping that's the right episode because I didn't count, but I did go off of what you sent me, so I'm hoping that you're correct.
I did send you the correct one.
Oh, good!
Yes.
Awesome.
I actually looked at the last one, and then I just added 1 to 32, which made it 33.
Oh, you did maths.
I did.
Good job. I'm so glad. We did the original maths. Also, if you hear a noise in the background, that is the garage going up and down, but that's okay.
Well, we don't know that it'll come across in the recording.
We don't. It might not. Sometimes it does. It's really funny because some other podcasts will be like, oh, did you guys hear that in the background? And they'll be talking about things that they hear in the background. And I'm like, I hear nothing. So that's true. You guys might hear nothing.
You might.
You might, but you might not.
One never knows. Not when you're drinking wine.
No. And
we're drinking wine.
We are. And today's wine, I won't make the crude joke that I made about it earlier because some of you listen to this and might not find it funny. So I will not make the joke I made about it.
I don't know. It was pretty funny. Well, it's really good. Let's just say it's Piemonte Braccero Rivata.
It's Piemonte.
That's what I said. Piemonte.
I thought you said Bamonte.
No,
Oh,
Piemonte
okay. Piemonte
Braccero Rivata.
Yeah.
I do not speak any languages.
No, thank God.
Very
Thank
well.
God.
I just know in Italy when I travel there, they just say end every word with a vowel and say it with a lot of enthusiasm.
And they probably go, bless her heart.
Yeah, exactly. So today's wine is from Italy, and it has flavors of red apple, vibrant pomegranate,
Yes.
succulent black cherry, and juicy blackberry. All of the adjectives that they could come up with for each of the fruit.
All the fruit, yes.
And it's complemented by subtle hints of blueberry and delicate floral notes. And it's actually a sparkling wine, but it's a sparkling red wine.
And if you ever went to church or communion, it tastes like...
They could go to church and not go to communion.
Okay,
so
well,
you can't say or.
Okay, well, if you did...
Communion.
If you had the blood of Christ, and I'm not poking fun at this at all, I promise. But like
In a Protestant church, because in a Catholic church, they actually use wine.
Well, even if they did. Okay, well, whatever. If you went to a church where they didn't use wine and they just used grape juice, it tastes like that, but with a little rizz. Because it's sparkly.
Yeah, it's
So
really
good. Yeah.
It really is good. And you don't, I could see getting really drunk on this really fast because it doesn't taste like wine to me.
No, it's super tasty.
It is.
But
So
yeah.
it was a gift. It was my holiday gift from the chair of our board. So.
Oh, well, it was a lovely holiday
I'll
gift.
have to tell her thank you.
You will.
I will.
Well,
so what are we talking about today?
So today's episode, I went real Canadian.
You did?
I did, yes. Today's episode I came up with, and the next 2 episodes are going to be this topic. And as I push my glasses up on my face because I'm wearing them today, I wanted to do a Q&A. Stop making fun of the way I talk with my hands. They can't see it, so they don't know. I wanted to do a deep dive.
It's not just the hands, it's the hands and the inflection.
Okay, we sounded like Moira Rose just then. So
It's me talking about you because I'm your mother.
okay, Moira, let me be Alexis. Okay.
I know. Okay.
Thank you. Anyway, so today's episode, I wanted to do a Q&A. We were originally going to do a full episode of where we both ask each other 10 questions, but I thought that was going to take forever, especially if the answers take anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. That was going to be really long, and I know some of us have ADHD. And
I won't be answering anything for 5 minutes.
You don't know. You don't know what my questions are.
I promise.
You don't know what my questions are. You don't know what my questions are.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Okay.
So I decided to name it Reflections and Revelations, a Mother-Daughter Deep Dive. And today I will be asking the questions. This would be so much cooler if we had, what are those things that you put your hand on and they strap you to it? And a lie detector. What are those called? They're called lie detectors. What are those? But they have like a scientific name.
I don't know.
Oh man, I listen to so many podcasts and they talk about these all the time.
I am not sure.
You're gonna Google it right now.
I am.
You? Oh my God.
So because that's who I am.
I know.
I'm the great.
Like,
although I'm going to Safari it because I do not have the GOOGLE
Okay, fine.
on my phone.
What
and
is
I'm also
the
trying not to
scientific
use
term for lie detector? I really do listen to enough podcasts that I should know this by heart, but I'm tired.
It's a polygraph.
Polygraph! See? We got there. This would be way more fun if we had a
technology.
This would be way more fun if we had a polygraph, but we don't. So I'm just gonna have to trust everything you tell me is the truth. Anyway.
I think it'll be even better if we have a polygraph when I ask you the questions.
Well, these are lovely questions.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
Number 1.
I need more wine.
Okay.
Okay. Ask.
Number 1.
Okay.
Again, I will be asking the questions. You will be answering.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Shut up. And these are some fun questions that if you're a mom and daughter, maybe you guys could ask each other. So, first one, here we go. What's a dream that you had for your life when you were younger that you never got to pursue, and do you still think about it?
Huh, that's a really good question.
I know. So humble.
Yeah, you are definitely the epitome of humility. Notice I said definitely, epitome, humility, all 3 ending in E. Okay, so I don't know if it was my dream, but for a while, I thought I was going to grow up and be Jane Pauley Jr. I was going to be a television newscaster.
Okay.
Sitting behind a desk. What I didn't know was you have to do a lot of research.
Yes.
It's not just sitting, reading stuff behind a desk. But that
do newscasters do the research, or do they have a team that does it for them?
Well, depending on which level you are.
Oh.
But when you're starting out, you do your own research.
Interesting. Yeah. I didn't know that.
So,
okay.
Anyway, I thought I was going to study journalism and communications in school. And instead, I majored in drugs and frisbee. So that kind of went a little off course. But
polygraph determines that was the truth.
But I did, when I went back to school, decided to go into psychology. So I never did pursue that actual course of career. Mm-hmm. And I don't really regret it, but I do sometimes have some curious moments of what my life would have been like if I'd done something different. Yeah. Especially right now, because work is so incredibly stressful with everything going on. You know, we don't know how we're going to meet our clients' needs. We've got clients that we're worried are going to be hungry. It would be much easier if I was sitting behind a desk or even doing the research around the news instead of experiencing what the news is reporting about.
I can imagine you being a newscaster, just, you know, first of all, making faces at people in interviews, just giving interviews, being like, okay, Bob. Shut the fuck up, Bob.
You can't do that.
I know you can't, but
can't do that. Sorry.
I'm just saying I can imagine it.
It's doing it in my head?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, second question. Numero dos. What was your relationship like with your mom, Megami, growing up, and how has that shaped the way that you've raised me or parented me?
Okay, so I was very close to your Gami growing up. My biological father died when I was almost 2. And so I think when something that traumatic happens, there's a bond that's formed. I do think that a lot of her stress and anxiety around his dying and ultimately his death was something that I picked up on as a very young child. Sorry, the bubbles have made me bubbly. I was, I think we were very, very close until I went through adolescence, and then I rebelled. I was so rebellious. I was like rebellious on steroids, which is why I used to tell you there's nothing you can do that I haven't done and done worse,
yeah.
right? And so I think part of it was her really trying so hard to hold on and trying to parent as a single parent.
Like during the rebellion?
Yeah,
Part of it?
during the rebellion part of it. And I think part of the reason that I rebelled was because there was so much, so many things that had happened that, and this is the 70s. So women in general were trying to find their identity.
Right.
And your Gami was, for all intents and purposes, very comfortable being that stay-at-home traditional, what they call now the trad wife.
Right.
And that was not something I was going to embrace.
Right.
And I saw with her the emotional upheaval and our financial upheaval when her husband was fooling around. He traveled a lot. He would have affairs, and
I didn't know that. Wow.
And so, and then come back, and I think that she always knew, but she didn't really do anything about it.
Right.
And then when she finally did do something about it, it created a really divisive situation in the household. Right. And so there was a certain level of resentment for her inability to stand up for herself.
Okay.
And later on, I always wanted you to be very independent. Mm-hmm. I wanted you to try things because I wanted to try things, and she was very afraid for me to try things that made her uncomfortable.
Right.
So I was going to go out there and try it all, right?
Right.
And I wanted you to try things that even I would have been uncomfortable with.
Oh,
I
yes,
wanted to push you to surf.
Go hold the snake.
Right, exactly. Exactly. I'm terrified of them, but I didn't want you to be terrified of them. And so I think that informed.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
How I did things differently.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. Moving on to question number 3. Can you tell me about a time in your life when you felt truly proud of yourself?
Oh, I have such a bad case of imposter syndrome. That's a good question.
I know.
Let's see. So many women have it. Men have it too, but women especially. When I was really proud of myself. I think when I graduated with my second master's degree.
When I was a baby?
You were a toddler.
A toddler, okay, yeah.
When I ended up earning my master's in public health, because that curriculum really was more challenging for me. The epidemiology classes, and
you're a single mom.
I was a single mom, but I was also a single mom when I was going through earning my master's of social work.
Oh, I didn't realize that. You did too?
I did
as a single mom?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So I felt like I truly worked for and earned my master of public health. And so I think that was one that I walked across the stage and was just really proud of myself for doing.
I feel so small in comparison right now.
Oh, you still have plenty of time.
Uh-huh.
You are the age I was.
No, you were 30.
No, I was 30 when you were born. You were a toddler, like
Okay.
3. So about the same age.
Okay,
Thank you
right.
very much.
Well, I mean, hey, might go to Scotland to get my master's in music therapy.
There you go.
Thinking about
See?
it.
So
Okay.
anyway, but that I think would be, and then
That's really incredible. I didn't know. See, that's interesting. I didn't know that you earned both masters when you had me.
Yeah.
Wow.
You went to both graduations.
Well, I remember one vaguely.
You screamed.
Yes, I remember one vaguely.
You were very unhappy that I was up
You
in
were
the
up
front
there,
and you were
I
in
was
the back.
here. Yes. Very far apart.
And you did not like that. Even if you were with your gummy, you did not like that. So, and then I think the other time that I was very proud of myself is when I delivered you.
Oh.
Because it wasn't an easy delivery.
No, I don't make things easy.
Well, it wasn't that. Or maybe it was foreshadowing. I don't know. Because your head was just so big, you wouldn't come down the birth canal. So they had to do, and I was trying to deliver you naturally, and they ended up having to do an epidural because.
No, like this one won't be humble.
Yeah, exactly. Her head's too big. So, anyway, those are them.
All right, that's really cool.
They be they.
Huh, see, I didn't know that. Very cool. Okay. Question number 4. What's a memory from your childhood that still, to this day, brings you joy whenever you think about it?
I thought you were going to go in a different direction.
Oh, God.
Brings me joy.
Well, now what direction did you think I was going to go down?
Brings me joy. This is weird. I remember being in the car with your gami coming back from middle school and listening to Janis Joplin in the car. Mm-hmm. That was just a moment of just pure bliss. Just, I don't know why. But the thought that came to my mind, I thought you were going to ask you, is there a memory from my childhood during a time when I was really embarrassed?
Well, sure, let's go there.
And it was because I had these really groovy, they were corduroy, like a thin corduroy, but they look like patchwork pants. And I was going with a friend to go see these sailing vessels that were coming into the port of New Orleans. And so
cool.
you could go and do a tour, and I was going with some friends with their family on this vessel. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting dressed, and I go to put on my shoes, and your gami made me wear socks.
Were socks not like...
And the pants
thing,
weren't super long, so you could see the socks. They were white socks. I was mortified, and to this day, I have very clear memories of that experience.
That's funny.
So,
Okay. All right, number 5. And I know this is an interesting one. So this is gonna be a deep one.
are you sure?
Yes, and I know that there's many, but was there ever a particular moment, just one, because I know that there's many, but pick one.
Do I need to drink more for this question?
Yeah, I might. Was there ever? Well, I know there was, but pick a moment where you felt misunderstood or unseen in our relationship, and how did it affect you?
You know, it's really funny. I don't hold on to a lot of that stuff. So because conflict isn't something that I just hold on to a lot, so I'm trying to think of.
So would you say...
And being unseen or unheard isn't vocabulary or experiential types of
So would you... let me
words
phrase it
from
differently.
my generation.
Would you say that we have the kind of relationship that if we do have conflict, that we're good at trying to see each other and hear each other if we do have conflict? Whose phone was that? Not mine.
Wasn't mine.
Wasn't mine.
Must have been yours.
It wasn't mine. Mine's on Do Not Disturb.
So's mine. So there.
Ghost phone.
Exactly.
Ghost phone.
Ooh. I just think in general, it's more around boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, honoring my boundaries.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
So, and usually when I bring it up now, more recently, you honor those boundaries. Several years ago, you would have just gotten mad and,
Oh, for sure.
slammed a door or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm working on my shit.
I know.
Yes. Okay. Numero seis. That's 6. What's something you wish you had done differently as a parent?
Oh, there's so many things.
Can't just pick one.
So many things. I wish that I had validated you more, because I thought that if I helped you understand that there were different ways to look at things, that you would see more positive outcomes or other opportunities. And so I was constantly looking at trying to find things that would change your perspective, instead of letting you sit with it and validating your feelings about that. For example, if you were little, instead of saying, I know, it really does suck, I'm so sorry, and then just walking away, I was always, I know you feel bad, and you can feel better
Right.
if you don't think about this or if you do that.
Right.
Instead of just saying, sit with those feelings of discomfort for a little bit.
Right. Yeah. And kind of like working through the discomfort.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So I never really allowed you to work through the discomfort.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think we see that a lot even today. Even with today's generation, a lot of people kind of have that, I hate calling it toxic positivity, but it is. We see it a lot in, the people who are like, oh, just meditate it out, it'll be fine. And I think we're seeing more of the shift to sometimes we've got to sit in our own shit to kind of see the good. But there for a long time, there was just be positive about it or just see the good. And it's like, yeah. And sometimes in order to see the good, we kind of have to feel the discomfort. There is that duality. So
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think the term toxic positivity gets overused and abused.
Sometimes.
Because I could see that referencing, just look at the positive in terms of what's going on in the country right now. And that would be toxic positivity.
Yes.
Well, just let it ride. Just look at the good.
That's, yeah, exactly.
But I think sometimes we use it in ways that it's not intended to be.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, for example, if you are at work and you're asking someone to have a good day and they tell you they had a really bad weekend and you say, oh, I'm so sorry and I hope it gets better.
Oh, that's different. I don't think of that as toxic positivity. That's hoping that something gets better for them. That's different than saying like...
But it's been used. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
People will use it as...
Okay.
Just...
See, I don't see it as that, but I understand what you mean. Okay. All right, number 7. What's a life lesson you learned the hard way, but you're grateful for now?
Oh.
This goes back to Mary Chapin Carpenter. The hard way.
I think you stole some of my questions for you, by the way.
I didn't.
So
I didn't
now
know.
I'm going to have to go back and change some of my questions.
You don't have to.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, life lesson. Save more. I wish that I had spent less and saved more.
Well, if you ask me that question, I'd probably agree with you on that one. Yes. Same. That's a hard one, though. I think our society gears us so much to, I mean, as soon as you get out of high school, right? It's like, here's credit cards, here's free money. There's not a course in high school that teaches you.
No, but your mother tried.
Yeah, I know, but it's still something.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, it's still not something that society really teaches you to do, right?
Right.
We live in a capitalist society that just wants you to spend, and they want you to have debt because they want you to keep paying it off because they want you to pay the man. Like, it's...
Well, because you pay interest.
Exactly.
It's like you're paying money to have spent money. So you're paying double for items, triple for items, quadruple
Exactly.
for items at the end of the day.
Right.
Which is why I got you a card when you went to school and said, use it sparingly, and every time you do, just pay it off.
Right. But it's hard when you're around people from Norway who are rich and they just go shopping and you're like, freaking Norwegians. We love you. We love you, but it's really hard to be your friend when you shop all the time.
It's the people in Finland that we're really jealous of because
That's true.
they are the happiest people on the planet.
They are. Norwegians are pretty happy too, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Question number 8.
Ocho.
Yes. If you could go back and give your younger self advice at any age, what would you say?
Spend less.
Why did I know that was going to come out of your mouth? I was like, I bet she's going to say spend less. Save more.
I think it would be to try to find happiness within instead of, and it goes back to spend less, save more, but try to find happiness within as opposed to trying to make happiness through buying things or doing things, except for travel. Travel is one thing that really does make me happy. And if I had
external validation. Even.
Yeah. So if I had saved more, spent less, I could have traveled more, and I would have really been a lot happier.
Yeah. All right, are we moving on to question number 9?
9.
That was really good. Good job.
Thank you.
You passed.
I passed?
You passed.
I passed?
Level 0.2 in Spanish class. Wow. Spanish class.
In the language you can't speak today, class.
I can't speak English today. It's hard. Number 9. What's a fear or insecurity you've carried with you that you don't often talk about?
Well, I think it goes back to the imposter syndrome, that one day someone will wake up and realize, I don't really know what I'm doing in life, much less at work. So,
I mean, obviously you do, or else you wouldn't be where you are and have gotten as far as you have.
some days. I don't know.
Was it a good question?
You always have good questions.
Thanks.
I swear, I think you go to a question book and find the questions.
I don't. I've had some of these for a long time. Because I wanted to do an episode like this, but I never really thought about it until I thought about it.
Okay. You wanted to do an episode like this, but you never really thought about it
No,
until
I mean,
you
like,
thought about it. So you had the questions for a really long time?
Well-
Explain that to me, Lucy. Explain it.
They have these books. And they're these journals where you can ask. A lot of them are about partners, but not a lot of them are about familial relationships. And so I thought it would be interesting to do one for mother-daughters. They actually have some that are for father and daughters. And like, why don't they have them for mother and daughters? And so I've come up with questions kind of around just in general when I think of them sometimes, and I'll write them down of things I want to ask you, whether it's in the moment. Oh my God, stop it. Whether it's in the moment or I have an issue with when I hear noises. It physically hurts me, and she knows that it's not ASMR. That is not ASMR to me. And she does this thing where she picks her nails, and it kills me. It physically hurts me.
I'm not picking my nails.
Yes, she does.
I'm just kind of rubbing my fingernail against my fingernail.
And it hurts me.
Yeah.
Physically.
So, like clicking it.
But I do. I take notes in my notes section in my phone, and I do this with poetry that I write or with lyrics that I write or questions I have for people. And I've had these questions for you. So, okay, so that's your fear, that's your insecurities, kind of that imposter syndrome of just waking up one day and going, someone might not think I know what I'm doing, but you obviously know that you do.
Or I just am really good at acting.
Okay, well.
And that may be what I should have done for a career.
Everyone did say you look like, what was her name? Grace?
Oh, they used
Princess
to say I look like, well, they used to say I look like Grace Kelly. Then for a while, they said I look like Faye Dunaway. And then you and your Gami and I
You've gotten Meryl Streep a couple times with me.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm like,
we were at that
what?
We were at that bar in West Hollywood, the one with the gargoyles.
Yes.
And sitting at a table, minding our own business, and that guy walks up and he goes, Are you Meryl Streep? And I'm like, no.
No.
And he walked back and it was like he didn't believe me, but I'm not.
No. And I was
sorry,
like,
Meryl.
I was like, no.
Anyway.
All right, we are winding down to our final question. It's the final countdown. Sorry.
Don't give up your day job.
Thank you. I'm a phenomenal singer, by the way. Humble brag.
Okay. No more wine for you.
I'm a pretty good singer.
No more church sparkling grape juice for you.
I'm a fairly okay singer sometimes. Question number 10. DS. What's something about me that has surprised you as I've grown up that you didn't expect about who I would become?
The chime is caught.
Okay, wow.
But it is, see? The winds have a little tiny thing caught. So one thing about you that surprised me as you've grown up that I did not expect.
You didn't expect I would become... Please don't say a failure.
You're not a failure. You're nowhere close. Financially responsible.
I'm not even there yet, so you can't even say that.
But you're making good choices.
I'm trying.
You're making better choices.
I will say I had a what are those things called? A revelation. Just because I think that's actually what this is called, revelations and reflections. But I did have a revelation a couple weeks ago where I'm like, you know what? Buying shit in the moment makes me happy for a moment, and then I regret it. And then there are consequences, and I'm not actually happy.
Right.
In the long run.
Exactly.
And it's like, then you just reap the consequences, and it doesn't actually make you happy. I'd rather travel. I'd rather, if I'm going to spend money, I want to do it on things that make me feel good, look good, or I can go do things with it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to spend money on. Not bags, not clothes. I have enough clothes. I have enough shit.
Oh my God. We have a whole garage to go through.
I don't need any more water bottles. I don't need any more anything.
Phone covers.
Nothing. I'm good. I need nothing else. I am totally happy. I need nothing else. So yes, I would agree with you. I'm getting better about that. I was thinking it was going to be more like character related, but sure, we'll go with that.
You've always though been a caring human.
Oh.
You know, right?
Thanks, Luna.
She is Luna, right? You've always. I'll never forget the time we went for your birthday to Gladstone's on PCH, and you didn't eat much of your cake, and the guy had put it in that, in the tinfoil and made it into a swan, and we walked out to the parking lot, and there was an unhoused person out there, and I think this is before you became terrified of them, but...
Well, look, can I just... Hold on. Sidebar.
Wait, I've got...
Sidebar.
I have to finish my... You can tell that story in a minute.
I will tell those stories in a minute.
Anyway, but you were 10, and you kind of pulled my arm.
I was 9. I wasn't 10 yet. No, I was 10.
You were 10.
Okay, I was 10, yeah.
I know how old you were when we moved there, and your 10th birthday was there.
Correct.
So,
correct.
You were 10. Correct. And you pulled my arm and you said, Mom, can I give that person, hey, look hungry, can I give them my cake? And I thought, oh, it did a good job. She's a good human.
Thanks. And I just want to say, I only became afraid of them because they started to try to attack me at a very young age. One tried to get in the car with me pretty aggressively.
But I don't think it had anything to do with you.
But I was alone in the car.
Yes.
And they really tried to get in the car with me. And another
Why were you alone in the car?
You weren't in the car yet. And we were at the gallery. We were at some art gallery. And the door was locked, thank God. I had locked myself in the car. And you're like, I'll be right there. And there was some homeless people outside.
Unhoused
People outside. And one came up and tried to open my door. And I did not like that. And I was like 12 at this point. Mm-hmm. And so that freaked me out. That was my first fear. And eventually he walked away. But you kind of saw it. You did see this happen. And I think you said something. But you thought it was funny. So... because you think all my traumatic incidents are funny.
Okay, that is one thing. I could probably go back and... to answer that other question and change is that I not laugh when I traumatize or when you are traumatized.
And then I can't remember what friend you had, but I was staying with a friend of yours that I was overnight at her house. I remember she had a convertible, and it was someone that I used to go to a dog rescue with. And she had a convertible, and we were sitting at a red light, and some unhoused woman came up and tried to grab my neck out of the convertible.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, and that terrified me because why me? What do you want from me? Why?
Valid.
Thank you.
Valid reasons for being a bit afraid of unhoused people.
Okay. So now I just listen to podcasts.
True crime podcasts.
Yeah, all of them. And so I'm just very aware of my surroundings all the time, everywhere. Thank you. Oh. But thank you so much for answering all of my questions. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you for asking the questions.
Of course. It was really cool to learn. I learned more.
Yes.
And I loved getting to know a little bit more about you and diving deeper.
Well, thank you, honey.
And so I'm sure did all of our listeners.
Oh, maybe.
Now they know I'm not truly just afraid of unhoused people. I have valid reasons. Okay.
Luna agrees.
Luna. Yes. I hope you all enjoyed listening, and thank you so much for hearing us out and living. I was going to say living with us, but you're not really living with us.
Oh, thank goodness. We have enough people in the house.
Hope Adam didn't hear that. We have a full house. But we thank you for listening to us. That's what I meant to say. Listening to us.
It wasn't a negative comment. We have enough people in the house. Yeah. It's a small house.
We thank you for listening to us, laughing with us. We would love to hear any questions that you might have for us. You can always send us an email at always send us an email at larkandmomster@gmail.com, larkandmomster@gmail.com, or you can send us a text at Apple Podcasts. We are on all the podcast platforms. And next time...
Wait, I can't remember it. When we did the podcast... You're right. Thank you, Luna, for reminding me.
When we did the podcast, what?
When we did last week's podcast, did I do a shout out to my cousin Harry?
I don't know.
Oh, and my friend Dee.
Okay.
Because they're both listening.
Oh, shout out Harry and Dee. What? Well, Harry's the cousin. Dee is the friend.
Right, and they are not together.
No.
Dee is in Florida.
Yes.
Harry's with his wife in Ohio.
I don't think it matters.
Okay, well.
But shout out to both of them.
Yes.
Boop, boop. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you is what we're trying to say.
Thanks for putting up with us all of these crazy years.
And we hope you keep listening. And we will see you for the next episode.
We don't have a fun. We hope you keep it kind of...
No.
We don't have one of those.
We'll figure it out.
We thought we had one, but I think we forgot it.
It was really long. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure something out for the next episode when Mom's going to ask me all my questions that I'm terrified to answer. We hope you keep it polygraphed. All right.
Polygraph friendly. We hope you keep it polygraph friendly. There we go. All right, guys. See you. No, we won't see you next week.
No. We will, but we won't.
No,
Not
we won't.
visually.
No,
We should
exactly.
really stop now.
Yes.
Okay.
Amen.
Over and out.
Bye.